Hey there, welcome to day 1151 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with some interesting flippy hair. Documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. And taking what I've learned in the offline world and applying it to and deciding how do I want to show up for the rest of my life and in the online world. Today I'm thinking about being an iceberg. Why? Because our idiom, our expression today for supersize your business was still waters run deep. And as I was thinking about the surface of the water and fishing in my grandpa's, and that you can't really tell how deep the water is or what's under the surface when you're looking at the surface, it reminded me of that iceberg. You know, you see all the iceberg theory, the iceberg saying, the iceberg memes that have, you know, the little tip of the iceberg outside the water that everybody can see. And then underneath there's this giant mass, which is really the bigger part of who each and every one of us are, right? It represents the whole iceberg. What you see and what you can't see represents and can symbolize us as human beings. And so much of us is not shown to the world, not shown to the outside world. Actually, so much of us, we don't even see in ourselves. We're much bigger and much more complex, yet we can be simple human beings than the world sees. And I'm thinking today about being an iceberg and how we want to be an iceberg in terms of consciously deciding the things that we're going to show the rest of the world. I'm not very good about that. I kind of just lay it all out there, and there's probably a lot more above my iceberg that's above the water than some people's. But probably over the next year, I'm going to rein that in and say, okay, how do I really want to show up? Who do I want to really show up for? And as I decide on my who and how, then my iceberg will become a lot more focused and crystal clear. And what is above the surface will be intentionally above the surface, not just above the surface because that's how it's randomly being created. And will all of me still be there? Yeah. And the more of me I know and understand and share as we do the one thing every day that centers us. For our 365-day challenge this year is about doing one thing every day that centers us. And today it was just a little breathing type meditation that says, you know, breathe in on I am, breathe out on at peace. And that you could do that with anything. You could use that as a meditation to say anything that you want to say and how you want to feel. So you can create more of what you want to feel in your life than what you don't want to feel. So the whole iceberg principle, I thought, geez, I need to actually be an intentional iceberg and not just a whatever shows up on any given day iceberg. Love your thoughts on that. Getting a lot of information I'm doing, and I'm trying to cut back on the number of challenges and things I'm doing that I got kind of pulled into someone else's challenge to do and participate and help out with that. So I'm doing that this week, as well as my core. I don't even know what the name of the training is. It's an annual, it's a year-long coaching program. And I think their main thing is called Core, which is similar to a lot of things. But this one resonated with me, and I'm like, all right, it's time for me to up-level my personal development in terms of really getting to know myself and what works for me, what makes me tick, what I'm here to do here, who I'm here to serve, and get clearer and more simplified and better at communicating what that is. And so I think that is an alignment very much so with my annual challenge, do one thing every day that centers you. Why? Because last year was a year of like crazy turmoil, right? And lots of change for everybody. And so last year we did one fun thing every day. And I think it was perfect because we needed to focus on the positives, focus on the fun, look for something every day that just made us feel good, no matter how crazy the world around us was. And this year I really feel more at peace and more calm about really honing in on and centering in on me and what makes me tick and what, you know, get to know myself. And the better I get to know myself, the better able I am to share the gifts that I have, just like all of us have gifts with the world, with the risks of with the right people in the world, right? I'm not here for everybody. Heaven knows I'm like way too direct, way too outspoken, way too sometimes in your face for a lot of people. And that's okay, because there's other people that will pat you on the back and say, oh, you're wonderful, everybody gets a ribbon. And if that's what you need, go to those people and get what you need. But I'm never going to be that way. Never have been, never will be. I've always been very direct in my approach and in my communication and in what I'm looking for. And so people that are very direct tend to respond to me or not respond to me because of that or whatever. So I'm going to analyze and look at different ways I see myself. I see myself as a very direct person, but am I direct in all my communications? No. Am I direct with all the people I interact with? No. And so is directness, for example, something that I choose to continue to be as I move forward in my life? So I'm looking at really deep levels of all kinds of things like this right now. So that's why the iceberg thing struck me today as interesting, because so many people, at least online and in marketing and in sales, pick little bits and pieces of who they are in the story, and that's who they show up as in their work life and in their business. And I have to decide what bits and pieces of me are going to show up in my business life, show up in my coaching, show up in my consulting, show up in my personal development and things I want to work on. So that's the whole iceberg thing today. I guess that's all I've got today. I've got a gazillion things going on, brand new grandbaby, and then of course my people I'm serving, as well as the things that I'm learning and observing and participating in that make me a better me. That's what our lives are all about, is making sure that we're always becoming and continuously improving the best version of possible of ourselves, so that every day we show up as the best version of ourselves today, but tomorrow we're going to get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. That's how we create the best life for ourselves. At least, okay, 100% totally my opinion. I know there's lots of people that don't believe in lifelong learning or continuous improvement at all. They're like, hey, I was born, I was raised, I learned some stuff, I'm just making it through my life. And if that works for you, great. For me, I'm always looking for something different, not different, but looking for more, looking to be able to provide more service, to do more, be more, become more. And not everybody's driven like that. A lot of people actually aren't. So I have to come to terms with that. Everybody isn't like me. Everybody doesn't think like me. Everybody doesn't feel like me. So we have to remember that as well. That's it. Have an absolutely amazing day. I'll be with you tomorrow to talk more about, I actually need to just get to work on my Get Up and Go Challenge. Get Up and Go Challenge, next one, April 1st through May 1st for sure, because we want to do a 31 plus day challenge, or a 30 plus day challenge. So I always do 31 days. Get Up and Go Challenge will be the 8th one that I've done since the beginning of COVID. So last year, March, we started, and then April, we did the first one. June to July, we did a 40-day challenge, because I had a group of entrepreneurs challenge me to do a 40-day challenge. In August and October and December, we did 30-day challenges. And in February of this year, we did a 30-day Get Up and Go challenge. And in April, we're going to do another one, primarily because I'm traveling April 29th through the middle of May. I'm not sure when in the middle of May I'll be back, but sometime in the middle or later part of May. I want to be back by my granddaughter's birthday, but we'll see. I would hate to miss that. It's important to little children to have their grandmas around at their birthday. At least I think it's important. It's important for me to be able to celebrate that with my granddaughters. All right, that's it. Have an amazing day. If I can help in any way, if you have a question and you don't know who to ask, I keep saying, I might not know the answer, but I for sure can help you get to the next step and find the person, the resource, the thing that you need to do or investigate or ask to get you moving again. I think one of the biggest challenges in business when we're entrepreneurs or small business owners, we don't have often that network of people and expertise that we need to help us move faster toward what it is that we want. And we get stuck on little things. And unfortunately, little things that are easy to overcome feel like mountains when you're on the other side of them. When you're on the side that you've got this challenge, molehills feel like mountains. Little bitty challenges that other people could solve like that feel like mountains, and they often stop people and they give up. And it's just one little step, one little question, one little thing that could have turned that mountain into a molehill, and they would have walked right by it or stepped right over it. So that's why I offer, as long as I can, continue to offer up. And guess what? The truth is, most people don't ask. Most people are still too afraid to ask, and they're using their not knowing as a reason for not continuing to move forward, which is sadder than sad. All right, have a great day. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.